going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are. Should have taken a drink of water before I said that. Anyways, this is Colin. How's everybody doing? Hold on, let's do this. Hey, this is Colin. No makeup, no hair product, just me. I want to apologize for last night. Yeah, yesterday was a hard day for me. A lot of different reasons. Don't really want to get into it. Yeah, I had this whole speech played out, but yeah, just hard day. I just decided to call it an early night. That's all I got. I want to go into details because I have a speech prepared, but it's not necessary. I just appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I do have my video from last night ready, and hopefully, if everything works out according to plan, the video I had for last night is going to be Friday night with a very special guest. Hopefully. That's what we're hoping. It's not going to be members only. I gotta remake a members only. I gotta do something for this week for members only. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys are having a great day. That's all I got. This video I have for you tonight, well, at least the focus video that's in the thumbnail, is the guy in Judge Shackelford's court. We saw him a few weeks ago. He kind of a scary guy. The victim was very afraid of him. And he got arrested before the hearing. Anyways, I got both of them. We'll just play it. Before I hit that play button, you guys know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do the jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Okay, this is 241641 and 231476, the People versus Kevin Kowalczyk.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeffrey Dant on behalf of Mr. Kowalczyk. Please waive formal reading and stand mute.
Okay, a not guilty plea will be entered on his behalf. And then we also have the domestic violence case. It looks like is there a tether violation allegation?
Right, it's a tether / bond. I think it's based on the new charges. The doesn't seem to be for any other reason by reading. And I would note, Your Honor, that the police were at the scene based upon Mr. Kowalczyk calling because he was concerned with some things that were going on. In fact, the report reflects that a CPS report was made based on some minor children. Mr. Kowalczyk.
Are the allegations with the complainant Sarah McCall?
No.
Okay.
Nothing in that indicates.
No, Cross, it wasn't your internet. It was your host. Your host had issues yesterday, and I'm working through them. So, yeah, like I said, I had a speech. I don't need to trouble you guys with all my personal issues. So we're just going to watch some court. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to build from here, right? Yeah, let's go. And yeah, this is Mr. Kowalczyk. He is the guy who had his girlfriend call the victim. They were threatening the victim. The last clip I played of this case, she was crying to Judge Shackelford because they threatened violence against her, and she was crying. Like the court was just like, Well, Judge Shackelford, I'm not going to say in the court. Judge Shackelford just kept saying, like, send it to the prosecutor, send it to the police. I have no reports in front of me. I can't do anything. And she kept saying, I did. I have. I've sent all these reports. Every single thing I get from him, I record and I send. But there at that time there weren't any reports in front of Judge Shackelford. He got picked up between that hearing and his hearing coming up. So this hearing we're looking at right now was a week ago. His actual hearing was today, and that's coming after this. But he got picked up. We'll see why. All right, let's go.
Okay. So it looks like it's not the felony, they just charged the dangerous weapon?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And just so the courts, the alleged dangerous weapon was not being used in any way in terms of use against anybody.
But one of his bond conditions is that he doesn't have any firearms, possess them, or have access to them. So it's still,
It wasn't a firearm.
it wasn't a firearm?
No. Alleged to be brass knuckles.
What is that?
Okay. I've signed the request for court-appointed attorney. Mr. Kowalski, did you go over your rights with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you give your attorney permission to sign your name on the advice of rights form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I just need a second, Mr. Fanto.
Okay, okay. But this one right here, I'm gonna follow for this way. I think I'll use really. Over. That's right. That's people that use,
Okay, yes. Mr. Kowalski, are you working?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm self-employed.
Landscape.
It's called Kevin and Aiden's Family Lawn Care Service.
Where are you gonna go if you get out?
Honestly, Your Honor, I was hoping I could go back to either 26131 Second Street, or if you wanted, and it would feel safer for you, and it would make you feel like you know that I'm not doing bad or doing nothing I shouldn't supposed to be doing. I'm willing to go to a shelter or wherever it is that you can put me in somewhere to know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm not doing something that I'm being told and lied on.
All right, just take a breath, sir. Mr. Fanto.
Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me? Yeah, probably not the best case to choose to make jokes, but I think you're talking about me. I think I need a proper shave. We kind of look alike, right? No, we don't.
Coming up. I appreciate potentially, it's new charges, so it's a technical violation, but being as he's the one who
Called the
made phone
police,
call.
I understand, and it looks like he was somewhat cooperative at least.
Yes, Your Honor.
About being fine. I'm not Mr. Kowalski.
Yeah.
Mr. Fanto and I are trying to,
Sorry.
you have someone representing you. I mean, I am concerned. Certainly, it's not a violation that he called the police. It's not a violation that he.
It's some kind of domestic violence situation. I don't know exactly what the charges are. I don't. And the full hearing I have after this, well, it's not a full hearing. I'll explain that when it comes up. But some kind of domestic violence, and since the charges have been brought to him and or his girlfriend keep contacting the victim, and they have scared her where she doesn't even want to be in court with him at the same time. You're going to see that here shortly. This is a scary case, and he's sitting here acting all innocent right now. It's scary. It's scary. Real quick, MB, we love you, Colin. Thank you so much, MB. I appreciate that. Thank you, MB. You're awesome. I'm glad that you're a part of the community, MB. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Erica, thank you so much. New member. That must be one of those YouTube glitches, or you had a gifted membership for a while and it expired. One of the two. But Erica, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good to see you.
You know, you said no firearms. I'm not particularly happy with any. Mr. Kowalczyk, here's what we have court on Monday.
Yes.
Here's my concern, Mr. Kowalczyk. It's not, I don't have any, there's not an allegation that's particularly concerning to me, like having contact with the complainant, something like that. But when I have this situation where I have someone who's, it's concerning that you're alleged to have had a weapon on you. I'm concerned that your options for housing right now are to go back to the location where you called the police out to, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
2nd Street, or go to a shelter. I mean, and there's not like I can place you in a shelter. I don't have, that's not it's unfortunate, but it's not an option. So Mr. Kowalczyk, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a cash bond for now, and then we're going to readdress your bond on Monday. Look, I've got an allegation that you had a weapon. It's very concerning to me. And listen, I've always been fair with you. I'll continue being fair with you, but I don't want to release you. It sounds like you don't really have a place to go. And if you do, you're going back to a place where you might end up with another case.
Right.
So we're going to address.
I'm fine with staying here, Your Honor.
I'm going to give you a $10,000 cash bond. I'm going to see you on Monday, and on Monday we can reassess. I'll make another decision once we've had a chance to. Are we here for the bond violation on the other case on Monday, Mr. Fanto, or is it just a
Well, I think
final
that
conference?
this is all, that's a settlement conference.
Settlement conference. All right, so we'll see you on Monday. And Mr. Kowalczyk, your attorney can make the argument on Monday about a bond modification, and I'll consider it at that time. But for now, I think it's for the safety of the community to make sure you're safe, and for your well-being as well. So you're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You cannot possess or have access to firearms. And we'll see you back on Monday for this allegation and your settlement conference on the other case. Okay,
Your Honor,
reassess bond.
Your Honor, can I say one thing if you don't mind me?
All right, Mr. Kowalczyk, I just want to remind you, you have a constitutional right to remain silent. And if you say something to me that could be used against you in any of these cases, it's going to be.
Mr.
So,
Kowalczyk, I'm sorry, Judge. I prefer that you not.
okay, and you can talk to Mr. Fanto more on Monday, and it'll be Mr. Gizicki, but you can talk to them on Monday, and I'm sure Mr. Fanto will relay to Mr. Gizicki that we're readdressing bond on that date, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll see you on Monday.
Have a wonderful day, and God bless you, Your Honor.
All right, have a good day.
All right, so that was last week. Now, Judge Shackelford took an interesting approach to him. She kind of seemed I don't want to say passionate. Passionate's not the right word. Or compassionate. I don't know. But yeah, she almost seemed like, hey, we're going to keep you in jail until Monday because I don't trust you. He's like, yeah, no, that's a great idea. But she didn't have her normal judge voice when she did that. And I think that was for a reason. Now we come to the hearing today. Now I'm saying now too many times. Judge Shackelford kept this hearing muted about 50% of the hearing. I don't have it all because it was muted. Instead of playing it for you, muted, I cut out all the mutes. And when it wasn't muted, we're playing it for her. Now the victim's on the stand right now. They're asking her questions. This is a really serious case. You know it's serious because I'm repeating myself a lot. Before I hit that play button, Shane, thank you so much for the 6 months, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 6 months. That is awesome. It's a half a year. Half a year. If you're saying why does she keep it muted, I don't know. She mutes her court a lot. She's constantly hitting that mute button. I don't know why, but she is muted more often than she's not nowadays. No idea why. I've got some suspicions, but those are going to come out in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, completely different story. All right, let's keep going. So this is the hearing today. This is after all the mutes, and like I said, we missed the first half of this hearing because it was completely muted until now.
And for the court, I need you to speak very clear, okay? Okay. All right, if you need a break, let us know, but I need you to speak clear so that the court recorder can take down what you're saying. All right, Ms. David, I'll have your witness.
Hi, Ms. McCall, can you state your name again for the record?
Sarah Josephine McCall.
I'm going to ask you a few questions. If you don't understand my questions, please let me know and I'll repeat them, all right?
Okay.
Sarah, do you know someone by the name of Kevin Kowalczyk?
Yes.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point to him and identify what article of clothing? What is he wearing?
He's wearing a Green Lane County prisoner outfit with his hands in the air.
Record should reflect the.
It's a political issue. It's a political issue of Judge Shackelford maintaining her judgeship. Let's just say that. That's all I'm going to say. She's got a lot of things going on in the background. That's all I'm going to say. Dwight, thank you so much for the judge's mute button removal fund. I appreciate it, Dwight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Erica. Yeah, there we go. That was weird. You became a new member, and then 10 minutes later, you've been a member for 5 months. That's an amazing trick. That's awesome, Erica. You have to teach us that trick. That's an amazing. I knew it. I knew it was glitched, though. I knew it was. All right. Okay, I got focus. This is a serious case. No more jokes for now.
Witnesses identify the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor. And how do you know Kevin?
He's the father of my child.
All right. And do you, Mr. Kowalczyk, have a current case pending here in Taylor?
Yes, we do.
And is there a no contact order put in place?
Yes, there is.
All right.
Maybe.
And at any point did Mr. Kowalczyk violate that no contact order?
Yes, numerous of times.
All right. Do you recall an incident around June 11th?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What happened on that day?
I don't.
Do you recall a phone call that was made to you on June 11th?
Yes.
Objection, leading questions, Your Honor.
Just to establish, no more leading questions, but go ahead.
Can I follow up after that?
Yeah, we'll ask her what happened on the call.
Okay. And what happened on the call?
Well, there's been numerous calls, so I'm assuming it's the one where he was threatening that him and his girlfriend had called my phone and they threatened that if I was to get him locked up for what he has done to me and my child, that they were gonna meet in the parking lot.
And how do you know it was Kevin on the phone? Or do you know if it was Kevin on the phone?
Yes, because they called up a Lisa Ann Kowalski, who was really Lisa Ann Barnett's Facebook.
Okay. And
When you say they called off of Facebook, was it a FaceTime call?
It was a voice call.
Voice call.
and you mentioned Facebook, so they were using Facebook as a way
Yes.
to call you. All right, and on that call, was there one person speaking or was there more than one person?
There was more than one person speaking. Person in the background was Kevin. I could tell by his voice as the father of my child and saying, telling her what to say to me.
And do you recall what he said?
That he's going to finish me off in the parking lot.
And how did that make you feel?
Made me feel more scared because he threatened my son. That he was gonna kill me if my son spoke up about him sexually abusing him.
All right. This is why I'm saying no more jokes. We're going to be serious. This is a serious case. Speaking of which, Heineken, it's really good to see you. Heineken, keep your trolling to a minimum on this case. Free reign on the next one. Just give me like 15 minutes to finish this case, and then you can troll all you want. Heineken, hopefully you're doing great, my friend. Hopefully you're doing great.
And Sarah, do you recall incident in September 2023?
September 3rd, my dad's death anniversary, he came up to my work. He was blowing my phone off. I kept telling him to meet him out in the parking lot.
And
My boss got him on surveillance and called.
I'm gonna object
One
to
second.
September 23. I mean, that's so remote. I mean,
Well, wait, didn't we have a hearing on that prior violation?
Like I said, this is Judge Mute right now. She mutes so many times. I thought I cut out all the mutes. Apparently I missed one. Mayor, thank you so much. Good to see you, Mayor. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you, Mayor. Thank you so much for the 3 months. And Heineken, I'm gonna say that's not real bad. Yeah. I mean, this is a victim. We're not gonna victim shame. That's what we're not gonna do on this channel. That's why I politely asked you to save the trolling for the next case. This is kind of a tough one. Again, I thought I took out all the mutes. She muted a lot. This was a 3-hour hearing. I cut it down to about 25 minutes because of all the mutes. Looks like I could have cut it down to 20 minutes. I appreciate it, bud. How are you doing? Are you still in Turkey? I need to stop talking about personal business with you. Are you still abroad, or did you come back for your procedure? I should just ask that. Nope. Caught up on all the super chats. I know if I fast forward, it's gonna just skip right to when she's talking again. So I don't want to fast forward. All right, I'm fast forwarding.
You see when it comes
Hey,
to
look at
your
that. Perfect
phone,
timing.
on your phone, is there something on your phone that indicates anything?
It says incoming call through Facebook Messenger.
And what, the phone number did it say was coming in?
I didn't have a phone number because it's on Facebook Messenger.
So you just get a,
Wait, is that Heineken? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Heineken. I'm gonna stop messing with you. Yeah, I am sorry, man. That's terrible. I don't deal well with people passing away. So all I'm gonna say is I'm sorry because, yeah, you guys saw me a couple weeks ago. I don't do it well. Yeah, sorry for messing with you, man. I was messing with you because we always mess with each other. So hope you're good, man. it sucks. It sucks. And okay. All right. Well, once it's done, please send me a message and just let me know you're okay. For everyone who doesn't know, Heineken and I have known each other for a long time. Well, a long time, as long as I've had a channel, so about a year. And he's the only troll that I respect. Let's just say that. Yeah, so sorry to hear that, Heineken.
Notice that a call's coming in.
Yes, sir.
And then everything else is verbal, correct?
Everything else is verbal, but there's also calls that I have recorded on my.
Ma'am, just answer my question. I'm talking about June 11th. Okay? Everything else that happened there was verbal, correct?
Yes,
And is your testimony that, whose voice did you hear?
it's not about this dude's voice I heard. I said his name and he answered back to yes, it's him.
You asked if that was Kevin, is that what you said or what?
I said, I know this is Kevin Kowalski, seeing you're calling my phone. Why are you calling my phone? I have a no contact order against you. And he stated, they can lock me up, but I'm gonna come right back out and do the same damn thing to you.
And because the person acknowledged that he was Kevin Kowalczyk, that's why you saying it's Kevin Kowalczyk.
I know it's Kevin Kowalski because his girlfriend is Lisa.
No, I'm asking you about the voice that you heard.
Yes, it's Kevin Kowalski.
You-
The father of my child.
Ma'am, the reason why you're saying it's Kevin Kowalczyk, because you asked the person if that was him, and he responded, yes, it was, correct?
Correct.
So Judge Nyarn, she also testified that she recognized this voice before.
Ma'am.
I understand. I heard the testimony overruled. Go ahead, Mr. Gazicki.
So then you heard another person talking, is that correct?
Yes.
And what was the conversation from that other person?
She was going to meet me in the parking lot and finish the job.
Did you ask her what her name was?
That's Lisa. She already stated who she was.
Did you ask her who she was?
I didn't have to ask because they.
Did she tell you who she was?
Yes.
And it's because she told you who she was is why you say it's Lisa, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. And there was another date after that?
Yes, there was another date after that.
What was the next one after that?
The next one after that was him calling my phone and telling me that he raped my son.
Okay, ma'am, when was this call?
Just take a second, take a breath.
There's Kleenex there too.
Do you know the date of that call?
I don't recall the date because it's happened so many times. He's violated it so many times.
Do you recall how long after this June 11th call? No, you're shaking your head, no.
No,
Now, you did mention June 11th. Is that because you recall that date or because the prosecutor asked you about June 11th?
I recall the dates. I recall September. I recall October. I recall even in August. I recall in May. There's June. There's just recently. There's a lot of dates. There's like 9 dates where he
But after
violated
this
it.
June 11th, because we're talking about June 11th, after that, you don't recall what dates any of these other calls took place, correct?
No, because there's so many dates.
All right. And well, are these calls all the same way on Facebook or?
No, some of them are from Kevin Kowalsk's phone. He's trying to call private, but it pops up on my phone which number it is because.
Does it go to voicemail or you answer it?
It goes to voicemail, but I was told by the officer, the detective told her to answer the phone so that when they arrived, that they could hear him at their cell to verify it was him.
So you don't have any voicemail recordings of this?
Oh, I do have voicemail recordings from when he got locked up in my parking lot at McDonald's.
When was that?
That was September 3rd.
Oh, that's a long time ago. But I'm talking about, we're sort of focused on June 11th to now.
Why are we focused on June 11th when we should be focused on after he got that GPS telling he hasn't supposed to be contacting me and he's been numerous.
Miss
Ma'am.
McCall, listen, I'm listening, okay? But I need you to just Mr. Gazicki has a job to do. He's not here to terrorize you. He has to ask these questions.
I'm just a victim, and it's
I know,
like,
ma'am,
he's
but
treated like
listen,
he's the victim,
listen.
he's the assaulter.
Ms. McCall, he has a right to ask questions. So that's what that's what he's doing. And then I'll have some questions for you as well. Okay, so just answer his questions. Ms. Davidoff gets to get up and ask you more questions as well. So if we're confused about something, someone else will ask the next question, okay?
Okay.
This has to be hard. It has to be hard for a defense attorney. And no one knows in the chat. He can tell you a lot of what he watches. Mr. Reagan, he tends to victim shame. Mr. Reagan does. He tends to victim shame. Now, as a defense attorney, you're trying to defend your client as best as possible with what your client is telling you. And that's what the defense attorney is trying to do. And she's feeling attacked. The victim does. And it's hard. It's hard. And I'm glad that Judge Shackelford stepped in right there, tried to calm her down. This happened like 3 or 4 times during this back and forth. Again, it was mostly muted. I took a lot of it out, but there were a couple times where Judge Shackelford walked over to her and like put her hand on her back and tried to calm her down. She did not want to be on the stand. She did not want to be doing this because it's hard for her. She honestly feels threatened. It's a difficult situation to be in. And then being asked by this strange, no offense, but this strange old man he seems like he's shaming you. Difficult. It's difficult. Difficult situation to be in.
Go ahead.
Okay, you all right?
Okay.
Yeah. You said you had some voicemails since June 11th. How many of those do you have?
I have 3 total.
3 total? Have you given them to the prosecutor yet?
Yes, I have. I've given her all the information.
On each one of these situations, does a person identify themselves, who they are?
Yes, he does.
So on the voicemail, it would say, I'm Kevin Kowalczyk and I'm gonna get you or whatever.
No, it's got officers in the background saying, Kevin Kowalczyk, you're under arrest for violating the no contact order.
So was that the call though, Ms. McCall? That's the one from when he came up to your employment?
Yeah.
Are the other calls from different? September, I already found him guilty of that violation. So I just really want to hear about what's happened since then. Are there any?
I have recordings of him, like when I was told to answer the phone, I have the recordings of him talking about like breaking my son.
Recent phone calls?
Yeah,
With-
like after he got the GPS center, he contacted me.
Do you have those,
And
Ms.
I have
David?
the live.
Okay, one second. Do you have those, Ms. Davidoff?
Not to my knowledge, nothing after June 11th,
It's the one where he's stating that he raped my son.
but those are, may we have a moment, Your Honor, too?
Yeah, let's give them just a real quick second, Mr. Gazicki. Hand down.
All right, I think this is a time when I fast forward. Yep. Before we restart, Sparkle Poots, thank you so much for your PayPal. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for telling me it's you, even though I'm never going to forget now. But I will never mispronounce your name again, at least live. I still want to mispronounce it. Only because I think, maybe you pronounce it incorrectly. I think I pronounce it correctly. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, Sparkle Boots, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep going.
So we're here today for an allegation of a violation of my no contact order. I heard testimony from Ms. McCall that this has been an ongoing issue with Mr. Kowalczyk. Essentially, for the duration of this case. We had a prior violation where Mr. Kowalczyk appeared at the complainant's place of employment, was actually arrested at that time, and at that point he was put on a GPS tether. Mr. Gazicki, you want to make an argument?
Just an argument, Your Honor, with all this evidence that's produced, I think it's still questionable. Number one, if that voice is really Mr. Kowalczyk's. I mean, outside of her saying that you are Kevin Kowalczyk, or asking somebody, are you Kevin Kowalczyk, and a person acknowledging, that's how she identified. And that goes back to the June 11th day. I asked her specifically what caused her to believe it was Kevin Kowalczyk. And the answer was because I asked if that was Kevin Kowalczyk, and he said yes. I mean, I don't think any of this evidence that was produced should be admissible. I realize this is a bond violation, not a trial.
Hey, just a really quick shout out, Biggin. Thank you so much for the raid. I don't want to keep this pause too long. I just paused it before your raid. Thank you everybody for jumping over here. I'm going to let this clip play out though. There's only about 5 minutes left of it, but Biggin, thank you so much for your raid, and everybody that's jumping over, thank you so much. This is a tough one. It's almost over.
We haven't been able to pinpoint the exact date and time, and if in fact that was Mr. Kowalczyk's voice.
Okay.
I do acknowledge that back in September, he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. I don't think that's the case here, Your Honor.
All right, I don't need argument from you, Ms. Davidoff. So look, I've seen text messages from someone alleged to be Lisa. I understand. First off, this is a bond violation hearing, so the rules of evidence don't apply. It appears to me that Ms. McCall, she's frazzled, she's upset. I don't question that, but I've seen text messages that are alleged from her to come from Lisa Barnett, and it appears they're in custody of property that belongs to her father's ashes, and she showed a photograph and said they have this. I heard audio. I know Mr. Kowalczyk's voice. Mr. Kowalczyk's in here all the time. Mr. Kowalczyk's had multiple hearings in front of me. I'm satisfied that that's the voice of Mr. Kowalczyk. And on that call that Ms. McCall indicated came in May of 2024, which is a month or so ago, he's telling her he doesn't care what the court tells him to do. He doesn't care what anyone says. He's going to do what he wants. You know, and that's incredibly concerning to me on a case involving domestic violence. That's the underlying allegation here. And we already know that he's violated his bond previously. And this is concerning to me because when women leave situations like this, they're in danger. I mean, there's science behind that. There are studies about that. And when Ms. McCall has recordings, I mean, it's not a dispute of, you know, she says he did it. I mean, she has audio recordings of him doing it. And this has been going on for months now. She's filed police reports in Taylor and Brownstown or Woodhaven. I can't recall which she said. She's produced all of these calls and videos to law enforcement agencies. I mean, she's doing everything we would tell a victim to do in a case like this. She's doing all of that, and it's still continuing. And I mean, it's, you know, and I think I'm a pretty fair, reasonable person, but Ms. McCall's done everything that the criminal justice system asks her to do. And Mr. Kowalczyk, that's your voice. You don't have to say anything. I wouldn't. That's your voice. She's got a recording of you saying, I don't care what people tell me to do. And that's problematic for me because when you give somebody a bond, part of the bond is I have to trust You know, I'm balancing things here. I'm balancing your constitutional rights against her rights as a complainant or a victim in a case and her safety. And I have to make a determination when I look at bond about whether or not you're a flight risk, you're certainly not, or whether or not you've already appeared at court, or whether or not you're a danger to Miss McCall. And based on the evidence and testimony that I've heard, it seems like you can't stop yourself. You can't. And it's dangerous for her. Listen, Mr. Kowalczyk, I've heard everything I need to hear today. I have to make a ruling and I have to ensure that Miss McCall is safe. She has a right to appear at court. She has a right to prosecute a case or to appear when she's a complaining witness in a case without fearing for her safety. You know, and that call was directly from you. You know, there could be some argument that Miss Barnett is acting on her own when she's making these communications. But if that were the case, it seems like you have some talking to do to Miss Barnett, because Miss Barnett is putting your freedom in jeopardy. Miss McCall is not putting your freedom in jeopardy. Miss Barnett and your own voice are putting your freedom in jeopardy. So I have no point, I have no option after hearing what I just heard other than to revoke bond. I have no option. Bond is going to be $50,000 cash. Cash surety with a GPS tether in the event he was able to come up with $50,000. Ms. McCall, if you have any further contact, if you receive a call from the Wayne County Jail, those calls are recorded. You are to contact Ms. Davidoff forthwith, because those
call from his girlfriend too.
If you are to contact her forthwith, let's bring her in. Let's bring Miss Barnett in. Can we get her in here?
Bring the girlfriend in. She was sitting there in the gallery. Bring her in. You are the reason why your boyfriend's in jail right now. Just so you know. Just so you know, girlfriend. Because, you know, some people are assholes. Stop being an asshole. That's all you gotta do. Let this woman have peace. Yeah, just let this woman have peace. This is what happens when you threaten a victim of domestic violence and you're caught. It doesn't even matter if you're caught or not. You're an asshole. Pardon my French. Pardon my loud A letters. Yeah, you're an asshole. Let this person go. You've already moved on. You're dating someone else. Why intimidate this person? Why? There's no reason. There's no reason. You've already moved on. Because you don't want charges against you, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. Sorry, man. No sympathy for this guy. None.
Just let me do my job, okay, Miss McCall? Let me do my job. Mr. Kowalczyk, I would not. What's that?
They're not outside no more. I don't know if they left the building or.
Okay, can we call downstairs and see if they're outside smoking?
I know they're driving.
I know, but I don't want you involved, sir. Let my court officers, I know, but can you let my court officers do their jobs? It's just, they're here. You can have a seat.
Okay. There are those two that were with Kowalczyk, they sent a kid, a female, did they leave?
I didn't even know that.
All right, well, give us just a moment.
Did they leave?
I don't even know why. What's the offer?
We'll just give it a second.
I think you did. Yeah, they left.
They've left? Is that vehicle gone?
Yeah, the vehicle that the gentleman described is not in the parking lot.
Okay.
Here and then just leave.
Yeah, well, I mean, they might have heard, I don't know. It was probably in their best interest. Ms. Davidoff, if Ms. Barnett continues, and I do believe she's contacting her, if she continues to call Ms. Kowalczyk, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but it certainly looks like witness intimidation to me. And that is a felony. To harass or intimidate someone, to stop them from pursuing.
All right. I'm going to say this one thing. I've agreed with everything Judge Shackelford has done up to this point. Don't tell the prosecutor how to do their job. Now, Judge Shackelford was a prosecutor before she was a judge. I actually found an old school clip of her as a prosecutor. I played it, I don't know, 6 months ago. I have no idea when I played that. You can't tell a prosecutor to do their job, though. Stop. This is the only part of this trial I don't like. Just saying. She knows how to do her job. Judge Shackelford, just calm down.
A criminal case, that's a felony. And I think it's very telling that Ms. Barnett left. It's very telling. So, Ms. McCall, there is a $50,000 cash bond. Mr. Kowalczyk will remain in custody until the trial on this case, and this trial is set for next Friday. So we'll go to trial next Friday. Everybody will be here next Friday, and we will proceed with our jury trial on that time, at that time and date. If there's any contact, make sure Ms. Davidoff's aware. File police reports, get your report numbers, and get them to Ms. Davidoff. Okay?
I filed them to the city, to the city,
Whatever city you receive it in, but just get the report number. You know, normally when you write a report, they'll give you 1024 dash whatever. They'll give you a little card. Make sure you have those report numbers so that Ms. Davidoff can have that information. And I'll see everyone back on the trial date. There, Mr. Kowalczyk, before you go, there is to be no contact with Ms.
I
McCall.
already know, ma'am.
All right,
It's all recorded on Wayne County.
I know that. If you have any contact, you're to let us know immediately, because I will have his phone calls and visitation at the Wayne County Jail revoked, and he will sit in a cell until this case goes to trial. Anything else?
Nothing further.
Okay.
All right, we're all set.
All right. The hard one's out of the way. Erica, I kept your question up there. I have not. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Mainly because I am really good friends with Judge Slavin. And this is actually a good segue. My members only video for last night that I failed to attend to. You know, you guys were all there. I failed to attend to. He said he'd be there Friday night. We're going to be playing it. It's a landlord-tenant case. It's a spicy landlord-tenant case. And Judge Slavin is the master at landlord-tenant cases, at least in Michigan. This one's in Texas, so there's going to be a slight, law change. But, hopefully we can get some expert testimony from Judge Slavin on Friday night. But, Erica, I can't say a lot. It's not that I can't. I'm just not going to say a lot. Yep, we're just going to keep it at that because I'm going to get myself in trouble if I say anymore. All right, next case. Do I have everything? Sparkle Poots. Already called out Sparkle Poots. Thank you so much, Sparkle Poots. What do we got? Dorina, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Welcome to the 5 new members. Legal Fiction for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And welcome to the 10 new members. 15 new members. Thank you both so much for the gifted memberships. I'm debating on making Friday night stream a members only. I don't know if I will because it's Friday night, but I'm tempted to do it. Because it was supposed to be the members only. I need to do something for members this week. But yeah, Judge Slavin hopefully is going to be here Friday night, and we're going to be covering a really wild case out of Texas. Anyways, let's go to the next one. You guys ready to go to the next one? Let's go.
Hello, Your Honor.
Speaking of strong female judges, Judge Boyd, no, legal fiction. I am not intimidated by strong female judges. When I visited Judge Slavin, he like pointed out, he's like, hey, Judge Shackelford's office is right there if you want to go say hi. I'm like, I'm good. I can't wait to tell you how I feel. I cannot wait, but it's too soon. It's too soon. All right, let's keep going.
All right, so are we ready to proceed on this motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, have you done a trial court certification?
No, I did not on this.
All right.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I just say, I just want to thank you for the privilege and opportunity to be before you and have this matter resolved. And I thank you for the previous opportunity that you had given me. And I especially want to thank you for when you said it. If you have any problems to come back to the court, I'm just glad to get this resolved today.
Okay. All right. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be standing in front of you as a defendant. Not the best thing to say to a judge. Now, he's trying to kiss her ass, right? He's trying to, kiss her ass. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, don't thank the judge for the opportunity to stand in front of her because you're the reason why you're standing in front of her. You could have said that a lot better. All right. Let's go.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just a second. We've all been Richmond, remember?
Right.
That means you have no right to appeal the judge's decision, right? So
Correct.
sign right there.
Okay.
So anything else unless you're asked?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 12887, State of Texas versus Ross Kuko. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Meredith Chacon for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Kuko?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, are you the same? I'm sorry, did you have a chance to review the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Ross Kuko who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 12887 for the offense of aggravated robbery on May 27, 2021 for a period of 8 years and extended for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
That is me, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violating condition number 49 on or about the 25th day of March 2024 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant lost, so within their refused to basically failed to comply with the rules and regulations of felony drug court in violation of condition number 49.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Sure, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 49, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 49?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 49 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
State, what are you requesting?
Revocation.
Defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, my client would like to ask that you consider sending him either to ISF, which was the original plan when he came before you before, or he has found another program he wanted to talk to you about. His understanding, or I guess I can do this by question answer, but his understanding when he went to sign the paperwork at felony drug court was that you had told him at the last hearing that if he found something better or there was anything he needed from you, that he could come back and ask. So he told them he'd rather go to ISF and thought he was coming back here to ask you for ISF. So technically he did not sign, but he wanted to be able to address you about that. If I could ask him just a couple of questions.
Sure, but before we do that, I will tell you that this is his one. See. This is his fourth motion to revoke.
Yes, sure.
All right, you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Ross Kuko.
All right, defense.
Mr. Kuko, You understand that when you were here previously on a motion to revoke, you were ordered and agreed to go to felony drug court, correct?
And yes, and that was
Okay.
a great privilege, and I take it very seriously. The
That was a yes or no question. It was a yes or no question. Calm down, man. You have a time to plead to the judge. Yes or no? Were you given that opportunity? Yes, I was. Thank you for asking me that question. It was very important to me that you asked me that question. Now, please proceed. That would have been okay. Yeah, a little much, but that would have been okay.
the privilege of being able to do that.
Okay, so then when you went to felony drug court and you did your appointment to get everything set up to start there, what was the reason you would not sign the paperwork?
Well, because it's a very intensive program, and I just felt at that time that I'd love the opportunity still to do it, but I don't feel like I was given a shot out of the gate. I wanted to be able to have transitional before. I just wasn't ready yet for the drug program just yet.
So what makes you ready today for a different kind of drug program or the ISF that you're asking for?
Well, it's you got to forgive me. I'm nervous because the life in prison,
Yeah.
that just, it floors me. I'm in a situation where I know the gravity of my situation, you know, and I just want to have my words correct. I feel like I need program. I need to. There's a Restoration House Ministries. It's on the east side, and Pastor Mark Blair is a.
Okay, let me just stop you now. So we're going to get to the crux of the situation. I ordered you to felony drug court.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's where I ordered you. And my orders specifically state, if you were not accepted into felony drug court, then you would be sent to ISF. So you were accepted into felony drug court. So that means you are not going to ISF. People don't get to write their own programs. So
Well,
where we are now,
Yes, ma'am.
and what I will tell you, what I tell everybody is I tell everybody, if there's an issue with your probation, you can always come back to the court and ask. Your issue with probation is not, I ordered you into felony drug court. Felony drug court accepts you and you decide, this program is too difficult for me. I'm not ready for it, so I'm going to do something else.
Your Honor, if I may.
Sure.
I asked as to make the final signings to go through with the drug court. I was under the impression I had the opportunity of either or. It was I even asked them, I said, man, can I just take the ISF because I'm not ready for this rigorous program just yet. Restoration House Ministries.
You are not going to Restoration House Ministries. That's off the table.
Okay, Your Honor. Well, I was under the impression of having either or. And so if I do still have the privilege to go drug court.
No, that ship has sailed.
I was told, Your Honor, as I was about to sign, that I had the choice of either or. So I don't feel like I've made a mistake. I did plead guilty because I was told that that's what I needed to do just now. But Your Honor, you have 100% truthful. Right? If you could ask the ladies there at drug court, I had asked them plainly.
All right, so this is what I want you to understand. I ordered you to go to felony drug court. The order was, if you were not accepted into felony drug court, then ISF. You were accepted into felony drug court and you told them you didn't want to go. And you just stated that felony drug court was too difficult for you and you were not in the right mind frame to do felony drug court. You want to do some other program. What I'm telling you is I made my order and I expect for people to follow my orders. If everybody could write their own program, your attorney would not have a job, the state wouldn't have a job because everybody would be doing beautifully. Obviously, you can't write your own program because if you could, you wouldn't be before me on a motion to revoke where you knew you were looking at potentially life in prison. And I've heard a motion to revoke from you before, because this is my handwriting. and it was a violation of condition number 2, and I ordered, deny, alternate amend conditions to refer to felony drug court. If not accepted into felony drug court, then state ISF.
And that's
And
why I
that's where
thought,
we are.
yes, Your Honor, that's why I thought that I had the opportunity to choose. I was not under the impression in any which way that if I said, I do not want to take this drug court, that I would be in this situation where I'm feeling like I'm in trouble.
You are in trouble.
Because I had no clue that that's what I was choosing at the moment.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding violation of condition number 49 true. The court is going to grant the motion and find you guilty. Does anyone wish to speak to punishment? State.
State's requesting 8 years.
Defense?
Judge, I would ask that you sentence on the lower end of the scale. Clearly, this was not the strongest ag robbery, or they would have offered him a stiffer plea bargain to begin with. And so anywhere south of the 8 years, I do believe he had a misunderstanding. I was not the attorney on either of the previous appearances nor the original plea, so I cannot speak to what was explained to my client, but I did explain to him this morning that not signing the paperwork was in fact a refusal, and that he could explain to you why that happened. So I would just ask that you give him credit for his time that he has served and give him on the lower end of the sentence.
All right, and probation, has he paid restitution to, or was restitution ever determined for Crystal Simpson?
Just 1 second.
It's the same thing.
About the restitution.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. The court is not going to grant, well, you're not eligible for community supervision. The court is going to revoke you, sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and there's to be no contact with Crystal, Crystal Simpson. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal?
All right. I'm going to say this. This is why it's sometimes tough to watch Judge Boyd, even Judge Stevens. They handle really serious cases. He just got sentenced to 8 years. He had drug court and he blew it. I don't understand this. People would rather play games and not just comply to not go to jail for 8 years. I don't understand it. Judge Boyd, kicking ass as always. Let's go.
With your attorney, did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is not a plea bargain agreement, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegation in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. May I speak?
Sure.
Your Honor, I had no idea that I was choosing.
Okay, let me just tell you, that ship has sailed. Everybody knows they have choices. You were given
I asked
felony
them.
drug court.
I
So,
asked them.
all
I
right.
said clearly, can I take the ISS? I'm not trying to argue with you. I just want you to know that I had no, I did not know.
All right, thank you. The court is calling 2024 CR 4236, State of Texas versus Paul Anthony Luna.
Okay, bye. He didn't know. He did not know. Yeah, maybe I'm naive to a lot of these things. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I tell you guys this all the time. I generally don't watch the heavy cases. The Judge Shackelford one is going to be the heaviest one I cover for 2 weeks. Generally don't. I like watching traffic. I like watching soft sits. I like watching Karens. So when I see a case like this, I'm just like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? All right. Next one's a short one. Let's go. Let me make sure I am caught up. All caught up. Okay, let's go.
All right.
Yeah. I wanted to end it a little different. this isn't happy, but it's not, physical violence, threatening a victim, and it's not someone going to jail for 8 years. So we're going to end it on Judge Perkins. You guys love Judge Perkins. I love Judge Perkins. Yeah. Still waiting for that interview, Judge Perkins. Still waiting. Still waiting for you to reply to my email. Met you personally. You gave me your personal email. You still haven't replied. I think that's, it just says who I am as a person. He probably just like, who's this guy? I'll take your pictures. Now get out of my court. Anyways, Judge Perkins, this one's a good one to end it. Let's go.
What about Green? Let's go back on the record with Green. I do have.
Oh yeah, I forgot I had to blur. There was some person on the Zoom call that had their phone number up. It was their actual phone number. It wasn't the Zoom ID number. It was their phone number. It was a 313 area code. It's going to go in and out, blur to not blur to blur to not blur. But all right, now that we know that's happening, let's just watch.
A valid driver's license, so we'll dismiss the SP 158-06041 for providing valid documentation. What's he going to do about the 31+ mile an hour over?
Judge, he wants to plead responsible as charged and have this matter ultimately resolved in that fashion.
You want to take the 4 points, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it, but can we knock it down to 3?
No, you said you want to plead responsible, so you didn't. Either that's gonna be.
But yeah, I'm gonna take the 4 points because I was going over the speed limit. I know for a fact I was going over the speed limit, so it ain't no point for me to try to take this to retrial. I already know what I was there. I'm grown enough to admit to it, so it's time for me to fake my
Can you be quiet?
Can you be quiet?
Jesus. Listen, Mr. Warbling, you want to have an opportunity to speak to Ms. Mason?
Yeah, that would be
Judge, our offer at this time is no offer.
okay.
That's the offer. There is no offer.
So you have a right to a formal hearing, or you can take it. They're not going to reduce it, sir. You can. What do you want to do? He's gone now. All right, let's pass the matter. All right, okay. Let's go back on the record with Mr. Green. Mr. Green, you want to fight the ticket, or you want to plead guilty to the 31 over and take the 4 points?
I plead guilty.
All right, stipulate to the face of the ticket as an accurate factual basis for the responsible plea on your client's behalf, Counselor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Stipulate the probable cause for the dismissal of the other matters.
So stipulate, Your Honor.
All right. You're going 60. You're going 65 miles an hour, sir, in a 30 mile an hour zone.
60 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour zone. Come on, man. Come on. If I'm not trying to garner sympathy for this guy. If you are one of those people that like to drive really fast, and you do it on the highway and there's no other cars around you, you get pulled over. Just like, hey, there was no traffic. You hit 100 on a 70 miles per hour. You hit 100. There was zero traffic. I will look at that differently. But you're driving 60 in a 30. That's a residential zone. Why? I don't understand people. Maybe it's because I'm a dad and I don't see speeding the same way as I used to. I don't know. But hey, you guys want to watch a bonus clip tonight after this? If you guys want to watch a bonus clip, let me know. I still have one clip left from my vacation I haven't played yet. We can play it tonight. It's a Judge King clip. It's good. You guys want... Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to play.
No, I wasn't doing 65. He said I was doing 31 over in the 25 zone.
No, it's 65 in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Clocked you on a radar. So, okay, so what's the difference? It's even worse going 30 miles an hour over in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. 25 means you're on a side street where and you're going over double the speed limit.
I was on West Chicago. I gotta think about that speed limit.
All right, so you need to know what the speed limit is, and you need to start following and obeying it.
Okay.
I don't know if this is what you're asking for, but the follow-up to the emotional support turtle case happened today, and I have not edited it down yet. So that's not the bonus clip tonight. And I don't think that's what you're saying. I think turtle is just now became the international sign on my channel for we're going to play a bonus clip. I think that's what it is. MB, thank you so much for the $5 super chat bonus. All right. We're going to watch some Judge Kane. You guys are into it. Let's go. We still have about a minute left of this one, though.
Find them responsible as charged $195, dismissing the other. When can you pay the $195, sir?
I get paid today. I get paid after 6, so I can pay today or tomorrow. Do y'all still got the kiosk machine outside of 36th District?
Yes, pay it by Friday, sir. Pay it at any DivDat kiosk in the city of Detroit. I'm told you can upload the DivDat app to your phone. The kiosks are also in Myers and the CVS's and things like that. Or you can upload it to your phone, or you can come on down to the courthouse and pay it in person. I'm giving you till the end of the week to pay it. Slow down, please.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Mimi, every morning when I walk in the park, I see turtles. And every single time I think, I need to take a picture for the community because they love their turtle clips. Michelangelo's maybe about to jump out of this lake. I don't know. But Mimi, good to see you. Okay. Transferring. My headphones are dying. So I'm actually going to have to plug in my microphone. All right, but here we go. What's going on? What's going on? This is Colin. I'm just kidding. Let's play. Let's just play.
Yes, right. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Constantino.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
I am here on Kelvin Craig.
Okay.
Case number 2405 774301, people of the state of Michigan versus Calvin Craig. Defendant charged in count 1, homicide, murder, first degree premeditated. Count 2, weapons, firearm, possession by felon. Count 3, weapons carried concealed. Counts 4 and 5, weapons, felony, firearm. Defendant has a habitual offender for defense notice, mandatory 25-year sentence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarah Bonoma.
All right, before we get to appearances, can you guys hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. I had to swap my headphones out. So yeah. Waiting for someone to say they can hear me. All the girls are doing amazing. Every single one of them are doing amazing. All right, good. You guys can hear me. Good. There was a question besides the girls. Anyways, yeah, this is a serious case. The reason why I have this is because Miss Constantino, the defense attorney, I've never seen her outside of Judge Simpson's court. And Judge Simpson kind of plays with her a little bit. I don't want to say he flirts with her. I feel like that's bad, especially considering his past. So I'm not going to say that. But I feel like he plays with her a little bit, and she feels really comfortable. So this clip made me feel like, okay, she's actually an attorney that can handle her own, and she doesn't just get by on her looks walking in front of Judge Simpson. That's why I put this in here. This is a serious case, and she holds her own. This is an attorney battle. Let's go.
Yeah, for the people, P84189.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christina Costantino, P79668, appearing on behalf of Mr. Craig. And Judge, I don't know that he's on Zoom.
Are you waiving his presence for purposes of this hearing?
Judge, if the court cannot bring him on today, then I would, but I would rather he be here.
I don't know when they're going to bring him.
Understood, Judge. If that's the case, then yes, I'd waive his presence, especially given the circumstances of what we need to discuss today.
Court waive the defendant's presence. What's your pleasure?
Your Honor, at this time, I believe we have an issue concerning a protective order. I was presented with a protective order and informed that it is essentially a prerequisite to obtaining discovery. Said protective order, in my opinion, is extremely broad. It prevents me from providing my client with any evidence obtained by myself, by my investigators, or any agents of mine, and that it also requires that I get the court's permission every time that I provide my client with any form of personal identifying information. Such protective order, especially one that is so broad.
I need personal identifying information.
Well, Your Honor, given that I don't have said information and I know very little about the facts of this case, I can't exactly state that. However, I could fathom many circumstances where phone numbers could be of issue, where addresses could be of issue. It's my understanding that there was some clothing that was taken from a particular address. I need to discuss said address and circumstances with my client. And quite frankly, I could hypothesize all kinds of circumstances where I may need to discuss said information with my client. But at the end of the day, I don't believe that people have a legal basis to require redaction of such information. Under the case law established by the Michigan Court of Appeals and People v. Jack and People v. Artermenian, the people must show good cause and specific good cause to the case in order to redact victims or witnesses' contact information. The contact information at issue is, given the nature of the case, I'm assuming witness information. And although in those two cases, Your Honor, the prosecution made similar arguments as to, I'm sure, what will be made here, that witnesses have a right to privacy and that there are concerns for witnesses who don't want individuals having their personal information. However, the Court of Appeals has stated that alone is not enough. And especially in assaultive cases or prosecutions where the nature of the crime is assaultive, that is not enough. And there must be some specific good cause that the court finds, especially for a protective order of this nature that is so broad, it prevents me from providing my client with information that I obtain and also that my investigators obtain in the course of their investigation.
Ms. Manono?
All right, and this is why you guys now see why I put this clip in here. We get to see Constantino actually lawyering, and I find it intriguing. I really do, because all we see her do in front of Judge Simpson is he. Yes, I agree. He. And she's really good at her job. She is. That was a good argument. Now, she's arguing for redacted victims off of the discovery, which is always a weird argument. Yeah. I don't understand why that the defendant needs to see the personal information of the victim. I never understand that. But she isn't the first defense attorney that's argued this. I don't understand this. She tries to argue it, and Judge King, he's Judge King, I mean, he's a legend. Just look at him and how cool he looks in that bench. I'm just saying. I've sat in his chair. You've seen it. You've seen it. Okay, I'm gonna stop self-bragging. Let's go.
Your Honor, I'm just asking pursuant to MCR 6.201E that there's a good showing of good cause that the court may enter an appropriate protective order. When I'm talking to defense counsel, I'm saying you can have all the discovery that's unredacted. You can have access to that. Any third parties that you're working with, absolutely. Your client in jail cannot have the phone numbers, addresses, and dates of birth of these witnesses. That's the only thing that is being asked not to be shared with the defendant. So the good cause is we have an M1 case here. We have 2 witnesses. It's from my understanding from the officer in charge, he's already been in contact with these witnesses. They were all living together at an address. He knows that address where they recovered the shirt from. And it's my understanding that he's having third parties go over there to remove the hot water tank and turn off the electricity. So there's already been contact. So I'm simply asking for him not to be given just personal information, phone numbers, birthdays, home addresses. That's it. Defense counsel can have it, but I don't understand why her client would need the address and phone numbers of witnesses and date of births.
How do you send people over to remove a hot water tank? That's not on the outside. If you have a hot water tank that's on the outside of your building, I don't think that's up to code. I'm just going to say that. How do you send people over to remove a hot water tank? You got to let them in. Are they okay? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Let's keep going.
I might respond, Your Honor.
Please.
Thank you, Your Honor. For starters, the case law that's established deals directly with this issue on point, and it states that such information, specifically contact information of witnesses, cannot be redacted unless there is something specific to the case that shows there is a direct need.
It's only being redacted as it relates to your client. You can have it, your investigators can have it, but you can't give it to your client. And I can't imagine why your client needs it.
But Judge, it impedes my ability to continue to represent my client in the best way possible because I very well may need to discuss said addresses with my client, said phone numbers with my client. I'm sure there's phone records that are in this case. I will then not be able to the people indicated these parties know each other. I need to discuss contacts with this party, and I can't do so unless I'm able to provide them with such phone numbers so that they know what this individual's phone number was when they had contact with said individual. I mean, the list goes on, but at the end of the day, Judge, the case law says that absent some specific good cause showing that's unique to this case that isn't the same as other assaultive cases, this isn't permitted. And this case law...
I am going to permit it, and the court does find good cause. And the good cause is that the pending charge here is first-degree murder premeditated, first and foremost. Secondly, I'm told that your client has already made efforts to contact the witnesses in this matter. So based on that, the court has some legitimate concern for these witnesses' safety. As such, the court is going to enter that protective order. You are not to share those personal identifying information to your client. Understood?
Understood, Judge. My only other concern is that the way the protective order that I was provided with reads, it does not read that it is just that personal identifying information. There is specifically a clause that says any digital evidence relating to the investigation obtained by me, investigators, etc., cannot be provided to my client. So I would ask that protective order to be amended to state any digital evidence containing personal identifiable information.
And that's fine, Your Honor. I'm not sure which portion that you're reading, but I can adjust that.
Okay, you guys together on that. If you can't resolve it, bring it to my attention.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And I think we'll need a new date as well.
Go anywhere, Mr. Dox.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, as it relates to the preliminary examination, are you demanding an exam, Ms. Constantina?
Yes, Judge, we will be. I would ask for some time, given that I was just provided with an investigator's report, and I don't believe that's all the discovery just yesterday. And Judge, just so you know, I was just provided with a protective order yesterday afternoon. So this issue did just come about, even though I did request.
All right. Sorry, Miss Constantino. I'm going to interrupt because I'm going to bow out. Thank you all for watching. Thank you everybody for all the super chats, the gifted memberships, the membership milestones, and the PayPals. You guys are all awesome. And yeah, this was my bonus clip. Nothing spectacular. I just like seeing Miss Constantino not in front of Judge Simpson. It changes my view on her. So yeah. Okay. That's all I got though. That's all I got. You guys all have a great rest of your evening. Let's go hang out on Discord for a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully I have a super special guest on Friday night. I think I've already hinted at who it's going to be. I think I even already told you who it's going to be. But yeah, Friday night. It's going to be a good. It's going to be a good one. All right. That's all I got. Until next time. Bye.
Discovery last week at the time of appointment.
July 9th at 10 o'clock.
Judge, I apologize that I have 2 other exams that morning. Is it
I'm in
at all
trial.
possible to do a different date?
When does your trial start, Ms. Malone?
Your Honor, it starts on July 8th. It's for sure going. This is the second time it's been adjourned. I anticipate that it'll take the full week. It's just a fatal vehicle, but defense counsel is bringing in an expert. I have a lot of officers, so.
July 15th is my last offer at 1:30.
That works for the people.
I'm sorry, July 16th.
That works for the people.
And Judge, would that at 1:30?
I can do 1:30.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Judge. That works for the defense. Thank you very much, Judge. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.